Mayor Leary Gaylor Baird won re-election last night in the general election.
She and challenger Suzanne Geist set a record for the most expensive race for that position. So what does that mean for future races? Well, Channel 8's Mackenzie Johnson spoke with experts today in our top story. Mackenzie?
In Lincoln, there's a higher number of registered Republicans than Democrats, but the city hasn't had a Republican mayor in nearly 25 years. Why is that? Well, we tried to get that answer today. Incumbent Mayor Leary Gaylor Baird was re-elected Tuesday night with nearly 44,000 votes cast in her favor. She beat out her opponent Suzanne Geist by more than 7,500 votes. In total, 80,401 votes were recorded for both candidates. And the most recent results show over 45% of registered voters in the city turned in a ballot for the general election, which is also a record. For a local election, those are staggering numbers. Experts believe there's a few variables that push people to the polls, including campaign expenses. Both Gaylor Baird and Geist raised over $3 million combined.
Money can't buy you an election and it cannot buy you a vote, but what it can buy you is attention. And with all the money that was being pumped into the mayoral race, it was pretty hard to live in the city of Lincoln and not be cognizant that there was a mayoral election going on.
In Lincoln, there are around 66,000 registered Republicans and 62,000 registered Democrats. But the city hasn't had a Republican mayor since Dale Young in 1999. The election commissioner says one group plays a significant role in who is elected.
And the big difference maker are the independents. Those nonpartisan voters, we have about 42,000 of those registered in the city of Lincoln. So while we have two major parties, we have a lot of independents who definitely make a difference when it comes to elections.
And since the Lincoln general election ballots are nonpartisan, people are more likely to vote across the aisle than in statewide or national elections.
You know, a lot of political science research suggests that if you haven't got the D or the R, what you go on is name recognition. And an incumbent mayor has a huge advantage.
So what does all of that mean for the future of local elections? Well, Smith says it's hard to know right now.
This could just be a one-off. That's always a possibility. I think now that the precedent has been set, though, is anyone who is seriously going to consider running for mayor is going to recognize that I might need a truckload of cash to be a competitive candidate and will organize their campaign accordingly.
And voter turnout for mayoral elections in the future will largely depend on the funding for candidates. That, too, is up in the air. Smith says since a lot of the money was fronted by a few big donors, it's a guess on whether they will invest in campaigns next time as well.
You know, the question of whether they'd want to repeat that exercise given the election results, I guess, remains to be seen.
Along with the mayor, seats on the Lincoln City Council and Lincoln Public Schools Board of Education were decided last night as well. To see all of the most recent results, you can visit our website, klkntv.com.
All right, interesting perspective. Thank you so much, Mackenzie Johnson, reporting for us.